now with my panel representative Keeks, and I wanted to give you the first word. Simone Sanders was saying that the president-elect should speak out and maybe use the Twitter as he so often does.
Well, I think he has spoken out, and I find it ironic that this wave of crime that we're seeing on both sides, and again, 71 arrests in Portland, the Republican headquarters in North Carolina being attacked during the campaign, proof that Democrat operatives were purposely disrupting Trump protests. And stories like these two kids from Northwestern University who were caught painting the swastika and pretending to be Trump people, later found out that wasn't true, or the student at the University of Louisiana who said two white men beat her up, and then that story fell apart once she started getting cross-examined. All this is relevant to the discussion. We can't just say, all this surge in hate crime when some of it does not appear to be authentic. Maybe it's a small percentage, but it's a disturbing percentage to me because I want to know how authentic all this stuff is. I agree with Simone and Wendy that people who are perpetrating these things and breaking the law absolutely should be arrested.
Congressman, as an Congressman Kingston and America, as an African-American woman in America, I don't have the luxury to see if something is authenticated because you know what? Someone is going to walk down the street and call me the N-word. Someone is going to tell me I don't belong. People are constantly telling me to get out of this country. Take my baboon, gorilla, and lots of other things I cannot say on national television.
As somebody who went through integrated schools all my life and was on the front end.
One at a time, please. Go ahead.
I know, and it's not the congressman, but it is people that are in our networks. These are people that we go to school with, people we work with, people who Donald Trump is putting in the White House with Steve Bannon. So we have to not only talk about this, but we have to give real solutions, and we cannot normalize this. And the last thing I want to say is a protest and a hate crime are not the same things. Violence should not be acceptable on either side, but hate crimes are real. We cannot normalize hate crimes. They are happening in America.
Please let Wendy get in,
John,
Congressman.
yes, I want to underscore that what I'm hearing here from the former representative is that, he's finger pointing still again. Instead of let's get underneath it, let's figure out what's causing the problem, and let's find solutions to it. Instead of saying, well, that side's doing it and that side's doing it. Well,
Wendy,
you're sort of saying that.
I'm really sorry because what I said is that it's going on both sides, and I very carefully
and it comes from the top.
And
it comes from the top.
And
when you have a candidate,
that's why it's so hard to have discussion.
Congressman, let her finish, and then I'll let you respond. Let her get her thought out. Go ahead, Wendy.
When you understand that we have just been through such a divisive campaign where we had trolls literally running for president, when we had people who should be our role models, and in some ways we couldn't even hear candidate Clinton above the fray, and we didn't hear anybody talk about the issues. So many Americans thought that was the way is okay, and we don't have these role models. We really need to have good leaders now, and if we have President-elect Trump, then I agree. We need him to get on his Twitter with his thumbs and start telling people in America that we need to express love for each other.
Don, let me again say that the only candidate who has said stop to anybody doing that in my name is Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton has not. Now, she set a good tone, but she has not spoken to her supporters about this. And again, let me just make sure that people understand the 71 people who were arrested in Portland weren't just for walking down the street. The people who were blocking roads and vandalizing police cars in California, they were arrested for reasons of breaking the law. The woman in Louisiana who claimed two white men beat her up, and later it was found out that was not
You've made that point, Congressman.
Well, the reason why I say that is just to outline that, friends, we have stuff going on both sides of the aisle, and both names of candidates, if you will, are both sides. And I think that we should say this is happening, and we've got to address it.
Right, to Wendy's point, everyone keeps pointing at each side instead of saying, and I do understand what Wendy is saying to you. Does it matter? Stop pointing fingers. And it is incumbent upon the person who, in many people's estimation, who started a lot of this because of the rhetoric on the campaign trail. I want to get to this one point. I want to get to this point. there is a county employee and the mayor of Clay, West Virginia. They're out of jobs tonight after the employee wrote on Facebook, quote, "It will be refreshing to have a classy, beautiful, dignified First Lady in the White House. I'm tired of seeing an ape in heels." And then the mayor commented saying, "Just made my day, Pam." Now my question to you is, could this actually shed light on how much racism is still out there and show that when it becomes public, there are consequences as there have been for these women?
Okay, first of all, Don, you know me personally, and you know how much that hurts. I have two daughters who are multiracial, and if anybody said that about them, it would be a knife into my heart. I think that this kind of discourse should not be okay in Facebook, on Twitter, in person, and we should understand that we all have so much more in common than not. We are all brothers and sisters here in one family, and we have been led by a media that's going two different directions. If you look at two different people's Facebook feeds, one who leans right and one who leans left, you'd think you're in two different countries. And we need to clean that up, and we need to come back to the table and maybe use next week Thanksgiving dinner to come back to the table and find a
I'm
place
out of
to
time.
peace.
Congressman, you know you're on all the time. We'll get all of you back. Thank you very much. Straight ahead.